see the one that correlates with that, and that is option B. Now, the other one now is question 4. Calculate the perimeter of a sector of a circle of radius 9 cm and angle 36 degrees. This one is not different from question 1. So we are also to employ the same formula. The perimeter is what? 2r plus theta over 360 times 2 pi r. So in this situation, what is our r? Our r is given as 9. So we have 2 times 9 plus, what is our theta? Our theta is 36 degrees over 360 degrees times 2 pi. 2 pi times, what is our radius? 9. So in this situation, 36 here 1, 36 here 10. And this one is what? 2 times 9 is 18 plus 2 here 1, 2 here 5. So we have 9 times pi, 9 pi over what? Over 5. So our answer will definitely be what? 18 plus 9 pi over 5 centimeter. That is the perimeter. So let's go to our option and see the one that matches that. And that will be no other option than option B. So question 5. If the end point of one side of square RSTU are this and this, find the area of the square. So if you see a question that is structured this way, you are given a square and the question asks you to find the area, provided that you are given 2 points of this kind. So in this situation, the first thing you have to do is to draw the square. The square will be looking like this. Then if this is a square, it is RSTU. RSTU. So you can name it anyhow you want it. RSTU. Let's say this is square. And the point is given. That's point R is given -1, -1. Then point S is also given. That's 3, -1. So if you have to solve this very problem, the formula for calculating the area of the square given the coordinates of this kind is to employ the area is y2 minus y1 square plus x2 minus x1 square. Take note of that. That's the formula. So in this situation, you will now ask yourself that which one will definitely be. You have your r to be -1, -1. And I have my s to be 3, -1. And we know that by virtue of our coordinates, x comes before y. So we have xy. That's the standard for coordinates. So automatically that means this one is x1, this one is y1, this one is x2, this one is y2. So if I have to impute that into this formula, so then we have y2. What is y2? -1. -1. What is y1? y1 is also -1. So we have -1 minus -1. So that's what we're going to have here. Square it. Plus, what is our x2? Our x2 is 3. So you have 3 minus, what's our x1? Our x1 is -1. So 3 into -1 all squared. So here we have our area to be equals to, this one will be -1 plus 1 all square plus, this one will be 4 squared. So now what do we have? -1 plus 1, that is 0. 0 square is what? 0. Plus 4 square is what? 16. 0 plus 16, that is 16 square units. Because that's the units. That's the SI unit. So in that situation, we go to our option and see the one that matches that, and that would be no other option than D. Question 6. A cylinder tank has a capacity of 6,160 meter cube. That's the volume. So the volume has been given to us. Volume is 6,160 meter cube. Okay. What is the depth? Depth means height. Depth means height. What's the height? So I have to look for the height of the tank. If the radius of its base is So they gave us the radius to be 28 meters. The first thing we need to recall here is the volume of a cylinder, which I gave in the last lesson. So we have volume of a cylinder. The formula is pi r squared h. Pi r squared h. Now the volume has been given to us, V pi r squared h. The question gave us the volume, that's 6,160 meter cube equals to pi. So do we know pi? Pi will definitely be 22/7, is a constant, times the radius. What is the radius that is given in the question? 28. So it will be 28, since you have r squared, so you 28 times 28 times h. Now, so then what do we do next? We make h the subject of the formula. So we are making the ah the subject of the formula here. It means that we are meant to cross multiply. So by the time we cross multiply this, we have 6,160 times 7 will definitely be 22 times 28 times 28 times h. Then we divide both sides by this. Then we have our h to be equals to 6,160 times 7 over 22 times 28 times 28. So in that situation, we can use our electronic device to figure out that answer. That will be 6,160 times 7 divided by 28, and that will be 2.5. So we have h to be equals to 2.5 meters. So by the time we use this, multiply this by this and divide by this times this, then we'll have 2.5 meters. So go to our option and see the one that matches that, and that's option D. Question 7. A square tile has side 30 centimeter. How many of these tiles will cover a rectangular floor of length 7.2 meters and width 4.2 meters? If you look at the first trap here, is that we are given the side of that square tile in centimeter. Meanwhile, the length and the width, that's the breadth of rectangular floor, are given in meters. So that means what we need to do is to convert centimeter to meter so that we can have a uniform unit, so that we can have a uniform unit to work with, because we cannot be working with centimeter and what? Meter. So the first thing I'm going to do is that the side of the square, so which is 30 centimeter, and I know that 100 centimeter make 1 meter, which means that 30 centimeter will be 30 divided by 100, and that will give us 0.2 meters. So that's the first thing. So the question now says that, so let's calculate the volume of the square tile now, which is square. Volume of square tile, which will now be what? What's the volume of the square? That is L cube. So what is L cube? Our L cube is 0.3 cube. So which will be for this particular question, we have a square of tile has, this is the side. So meanwhile, we have a rectangle, so it's the area we're calculating, so not the volume. So area of square tile, because we're trying to look for the area of the, so what's the area? L square, that's the area of a square, and that's, since our length is 0.3, so it will be 0.3 square, and 0.3 square will be 0.09 meter square. So this is the area of the tile. So what is the area of a rectangular floor? That's the area of a rectangle. Area of a rectangle. So that will be, area of a rectangular floor will be LB. That's length times breadth. So what's our length? Our length is 7.2. What is our breadth? Our breadth is 7.2 meters. Our breadth is 4.2 meters. So in that situation, let's use our electronic device to figure out that that's 7.2 7.2 times 4.2, and that will give us 30.24 meter square. So the question is now asking us that how many of these tiles will cover a rectangular floor of length this. So the area of the rectangle has been calculated. So if you want to know the number of tiles that will cover that rectangular floor, number of tiles will simply be area of the rectangular floor divided by area of the square. So what is the area of this? That's 30.24 meter square. What is the area of the square? That's 0.09. So we use that divided by 0.09, and that would be 336. So the number of tiles that we needed to cover the rectangular floor would be 336. So let's go to our option and see the one that matches that, and that's option D. Then the next question, which is question number 8. Find the length of a chord which suspends an angle of 90 degrees at the center of a circle whose radius is 8 centimeters. So you know what a chord is. A chord is a line drawn from one part of the circumference to the other part without passing through the center. So let's say if the center of the circle is somewhere here, and we can draw a chord